Stranded in Africa. This is a wild cruise news story. A group of 8 passengers cruising on the Norwegian Dawn visiting Africa went on a private excursion, did not make it back in time, and now literally they are stuck. They are stranded in Africa trying to rejoin the ship. We'll share what these passengers thought should have happened. They were close to making it back to the ship. We'll also share what Norwegian has said in response to this story on the show today. We're also going to share and answer this question: is Carnival Corporation, and in particular Carnival Cruise Line, done building ships for 2028? They've given us a little nugget that there may be more out there than the 2 XL class ships that we already know of. We all need some time in the islands. Let's go there now on Island Time. A big happy Monday to all you Islanders. We hope that you had a great weekend, a great Easter, and your week is off to a great start. We are right here on Island Time. My name is Derek. Let's drop our anchors and take some time to relax in the islands together. We all need it, especially me today. I apologize for how I sound. A little nasally, get a little chest cold. Maybe it's the allergies. Maybe who knows what it is. I feel okay. I don't sound okay, but we're going to get through the show today because we have a lot to share with you. If you'd like to stay up to date with the latest in cruising, be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Ring the bell to receive notifications when we upload content. We're going to jump right into the first cruise news story today. This one is a little bit scary, right? We all dream of taking big trips, bucket list trips. We plan the trips out. We know what excursions we're going to take. Sometimes they are with the cruise line in particular. Sometimes they're independent or through third-party sources, but we all watch the watch. We can all tell the time. We all try to make it back on time. And yes, we laugh at the pier runners. You guys see the videos on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. They set the music to it. We watch it. We laugh. We laugh because they're running, and we laugh because they get back on the ship. It's all joyful. We can laugh when they make it back to the ship, but when they don't make it back to the ship, it's not so funny. And that's exactly what happened. A group of 8 passengers cruising on a 21-day cruise. They're only like on day 7 or 8, a third of the way into the cruise, on the Norwegian Dawn, sailing multiple countries. They were visiting a country in Africa. The group of 8 got off the ship. They enjoyed their day, of course. They knew it started to get a little bit late in the day. They claimed that they asked the tour operator, what time is it? Do we have time to do X and Y and Z? And the tour operator said, yes, you do. We can have you back to the terminal in an hour. They were supposed to be back on board by 3 o'clock. And if you have cruised before, you know that cruise lines don't joke around about the time to be back on board. That is the time that they have established to be back on board. And if you're not back on board, you are left. Guess what the ship did shortly after 3 o'clock when the back on board time was set? Yeah, the ship left. The ship left these 8 people. Even though they were close to getting back. They were so close. Matter of fact, they could see the ship. Listen to what one passenger had to say about what Norwegian could have done to help. The captain could have made an easy decision to turn one of the tender boats back, pick us up, safely load us, and then go on the way. That's what one of the passengers said. That's not the way things work at all. You have to have crew members. You put crew members at risk when you do things like that. Norwegian, they have spoken up. They have shared as well what took place, what their stance is, and how they tried to help. Norwegian Cruise Line shared this on the afternoon of March the 27th. While the ship was in Sao Tome and Principe, an African island nation, 8 guests who were on the island on their own or with a private tour missed the last tender back to the vessel, therefore not meeting the all-aboard time of 3 o'clock p.m. local time. While this is a very unfortunate situation, guests are responsible for ensuring that they return to the ship at the published time. which is communicated broadly over the ship's intercom and the daily communication and posted just before exiting the vessel. We've all seen that sign, right? Ship's time is this. Back on board time is this. Norwegian also shared when the guests did not return to the vessel at the all aboard time, their passports were delivered to the local agents to retrieve when they returned to the port. Norwegian trying to help this group of 8 guests, saying, here are your passports. If you can rejoin us later on, then go ahead and do so. The passengers shared that they have spent over $5,000 on transportation, on hotels, on food, trying to meet the ship. 8 people, that cost some money, right? Some of the guests also are older. They have medical issues. They have medicines, of course, that they have to take. And we're not pointing fingers here at all. Things do happen. And we feel sorry for these guests who are not on board. We hope that none of them are in serious health conditions where, of course, they need extra time. They need extra attention for some of the things that ail them. We hope that they're in okay condition. They're able to travel and walk and travel from place to place. Of course, if they're on the cruise, hopefully they can do so. But we are told that some of these passengers are older, and it's taking a toll on them. Some of them did not bring their international credit cards, for example. They don't have the medications that they need and they take on a daily basis. They are stranded in Africa. They are making efforts to rejoin the ship. They traveled 15 hours through 6 different countries in hopes of joining the ship yesterday, but were not able to do so because there was bad weather and the ship was not able to dock. So they got there, they could see their ship. Could you imagine? We're finally going to rejoin the ship. We finally made it. 15 hours, 6 countries. We're getting back on board. And there's bad weather, the ship cannot dock, and so they're going to try again tomorrow, but if they miss this time, the ship's going a couple thousand miles away. They're not going to be able to get back on board. So we're following this story. There are lessons learned for all of us, and the lesson learned, I don't think, is this. Some people will say it is this, and you can share your thoughts in the comments section below. I don't think the lesson learned is always book your excursions through the cruise line. I don't think that's it. I think that we as passengers and travelers do sometimes book excursions through the cruise line if they have what we want, if they are offering what we're wanting to buy, if the group space is small enough, if the vendor is what we want, then we book through the cruise line. But I don't think that's the lesson learned here. I think the lesson learned is you have to track your time. You have to watch your time. You are the one that is responsible for checking and watching and managing your time. While you want to put that trust in the locals, whether it's in Africa or in Cozumel, you want the locals to manage that for you. They may help you, and oftentimes they may manage it for you, but do not give that responsibility to them. You keep the responsibility of managing the time. And if you ever feel uncomfortable like these guests did at one point, and you think, man, it's probably time to go back, then you let that tour operator know this thing is over. We are done. We would like you to take us back to the port. That way there's no guessing. That way you don't have to stress and worry, even if you may have time. End it. Go back to the ship. Do you agree with that soapbox issue? Let us know in the comment section below. Of course, we hope that these passengers get to catch up to this Norwegian ship, that they make it back on board, they enjoy the rest of their cruise. We don't wish any ill will on them at all, but it's a learning lesson for all of us. I can't wait to see your thoughts on this in the comment section below as we move to cruise news story number 2 regarding Carnival Corporation and maybe Carnival Cruise Line. There's been big news the last several weeks. Carnival Corporation has shared that they are going to build 2 new XL class ships to be delivered, one in 2027, one in 2028. President and CEO of Carnival Corporation, Josh Weinstein, has shared the success of the last quarter, a record $5.4 billion in earnings. He says we are building ships, 1 or 2 a year, one in 2027, maybe 2 a year starting in 2028. And he left a little nugget there. Listen to this. This is from Josh Weinstein himself. We're talking about 1 or 2 ships a year starting in 2027. There won't be another one in 2027, just that one XL class ship. That will be what we've got. As far as 2028 goes, could there be another one? It's not closed, but I wouldn't necessarily bank on it either. So there could be a second ship for Carnival Corporation. We don't know the line yet. But listen to this. This is interesting here. We are working on more things that are going to be geared toward our highest returning brands, as we've been talking about. And when there's something to talk about, we'll certainly share it. That's the carrot. That's the nugget. Come on, Josh. Can you tell us what you're talking about? Can you tell us what cruise line you're talking about? He eliminates several of the Carnival Corporation cruise lines when he says we are working on more things to be geared towards our highest returning brands. Carnival Cruise Line is the highest returning brand. Is there something else? He says there's more things, and we'll tell you about the more things whenever we're ready to tell you about more things. What is it? Is it a smaller class of ship? Is it more XL ships? Does it have to do with Carnival Cruise Line? Of course, there are other, higher performing cruise lines or highest returning brands. There's more than just one. But Josh Weinstein interests us right there. We'll have to see what he's talking about in the next several quarters. Islanders, let's say that this is for Carnival Cruise Line. We don't know that it is, but it's certainly a possibility. What would you like this statement? We have more plans. We have more things coming. What would you like that to be? Let us know in the comments section below. We're going to share this story with you right here, a 31-day cruise. That sounds nice, does it not? The Carnival Luminosa is leaving Australia. It's headed to Seattle to begin the Alaskan season. The Luminosa is leaving Australia today. She will stop at several ports of call in Far East Asia. She'll stop in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, stops in Japan. She will also cruise in Alaska before ending in Seattle and officially starting the Alaskan season. 31 days. Sounds like a blast to me. There's some people who are retired or have a flexible job schedule where they could take the cruise right now. There's some people who say, I would love to do it and I would do it, but I can't because of this reason. 31 days. Would you go on a 31-day cruise with your favorite cruise line? Could you do it? What holds you back? We invite you to share that in the comment section below. We would love to take part in one of these cruises, and hopefully it's just a matter of time before we all do. Islanders, that is the Cruise News Show for today. We ask that you like this video if you enjoy the content. We also want to hear from you, your responses, your thoughts. You're going to sound better than I do today. I can promise you that. Take a few minutes, type out some things. It can be bullet points, full sentences, whatever you want it to be. We can't wait to see your thoughts on the show today. We had a blast. We hope that you did as well. We hope that you have a great day. We'll see you in the comment section below on our Facebook page and tomorrow right here on Island Time.